Hello and welcome to another episode of News from the Gelding. Okay, so this isn't going to be very long. I'm just going to talk through the week, really. I'm not ill or anything. I'm just wearing this blanket because it's as cold as a witch's tit in here, as usual, even though the sun's shining. I just thought I'd talk about my week and specifically how it relates to the crisis everyone's going through and self-isolation. In the last week, maybe we've been out twice for a walk and once just walking to the shop for some shopping. So keeping in as much as possible. As for my writing, I'm still writing. I'm doing it more for the escapism it offers rather than potential for the second book being released. I don't have a very great following, obviously, in terms of the first book, so there's no great imperative for me to get this second book out quicker. At the same time, it's motivation. If I was to think about it in terms of that, I wouldn't even do it. So now it's purely for the pleasure I get and the escapism it offers me. I suppose as everyone has this kind of moment when they wake up in the morning and think, oh my goodness, what the hell's going on? It's like a nightmare that won't end. But it's important, I think, to if you're going to get through it, is to try and develop some kind of routine. So that's what we've been trying to do. We're both working on Vanessa's working on a course that she's been working on for the last 2 years as part of her teaching. And so she's trying to finish that now, and I'm working on my writing, and then imposing a structure on the day. I think that's important. The other thing is trying to avoid the news as much as possible. I mean, still staying up to date with advances and things like that, but I think dwelling on the lots of negative things that are in the media is not healthy for anyone. So get the pertinent information and then switch off for the rest of the day and focus on other things. It's no good dwelling on things that we can't change or affect ourselves. If you're staying at home and being safe, that's more than enough. If you're able to help other people, then obviously do that. If you know people that are vulnerable and they're stuck and they can't get out, obviously you do your bit. Otherwise, just need to try to stay calm as much as possible. Easier said than done, especially for someone like me who worries about things like the moon exploding. No, I don't really worry about that, but you know what I mean. I worry about all kinds of things. The other thing that's nice is obviously meeting up with other people virtually, which is nice. Been doing that with family, and even took part in a virtual pub quiz last night, which was nice, with 100,000 other people in the UK and around the rest of the world. That was good fun. Vanessa beat me quite easily. But it was good fun because we used to do the pub quiz a lot over the road at the Farmers Union, but obviously that's not happening. So that was nice to do, and we also did the 8 o'clock going out to clap for the NHS and everyone involved in the care side and the treatment side of what's going on. That was really nice. All the neighbours out, and I don't know. The gravity of the situation struck home then. It's moments like that you realize the gravity of the situation, but at the same time, the way everyone's seemingly staying pretty positive about things. I mean, that's all you can do, really. The alternative it's not worth considering. Cooking, we've been trying to be economical with food because we want to go out as little as possible. We weren't one of these people that went nuts and hoarded loads of food, but we had enough to last 2 weeks maybe. So we've had doing little journeys here and there to top it up, and luckily, which is what I was hoping, this panic situation has died down, and we went to a Sainsbury's yesterday in the middle of the city, and it was hardly anyone there. It was really calm and relaxed, and you could keep away from each other, and there was plenty of stock available. There's a couple of things that you can't get, but by and large it was more than adequate. And the people running, on the tills, they're really, doing an amazing job. Yeah, so trying to keep that to a minimum. Going for walks is obviously a good idea to keep your exercise up and endorphin levels up a little as well. It helps that they've got really nice weather here in England at the moment, which is really nice. The feel of the sun on your skin is wonderful after the fairly unpleasant winter we've had. But walking around an empty city is not very pleasant. And that's the part I hate about it. I mean, I wish in a way we lived in the countryside. We wouldn't know so much of a change perhaps, but an empty city looks wrong, and is quite, I don't know, sinister, definitely sinister. Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much more now because I run the risk of this being very depressing. But it's not. We're fairly high spirits, and I hope you are too. Keep busy, keep a routine, stay safe, stay home, and don't panic. Okay, I'll leave it there. Hopefully see you next week. As usual, I'm still debating whether to do a different channel where I just play old retro games. That's all I seem to be doing in between writing now, revisiting games I used to play when I was 8 years old or that kind of age. Absolutely love those games. Very nostalgic for me. So may do that, perhaps. I don't know how much more I can talk about my writing at the moment because it is very slow. I worked it out that last month I think I only did 2,500 words. So yeah, each month I'm doing less and less. I know a lot of people are using this opportunity, the lockdown, to get lots of. I know lots of other writers that are doing a lot, but my mentality, anxiety doesn't allow that to happen quite as easily. But who knows? Might get a fire up my behind at some point and get some more done. Okay, right, let's end it there, and all that's left to be said is cheerio.